We're live.
What is up, everyone?
What's up, guys? We are gonna load this up here, and you're jumping on right now. Put a 1 in the comments if you can hear us well. I know that we don't have the speaker set up right now. So, oh, this is a great view. Nice. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So what's going to happen, first of all, ask any questions down at the bottom in regards to sales, business, and social media marketing. Temple Naylor actually went in, just kind of like pre-frame all of this. He's going to dive into the details of it. But he, and we do this from time to time, and you should do this, so this way you can get a hint of what the market's like. So Temple went in, he secret shopped another business, which basically means that he went in as a customer, and then he let them pitch him to see what that looked like. And so really Temple's going to break down his experience and what made it the absolute worst sales pitch of all time, what not to do, and how you could do it better to be light years, okay, above and beyond these other sales professionals. Because if you guys follow us here or you follow us on YouTube, then you'll know, like, we do things differently.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, yeah, so pretty much I was secret shopping, looking around, and I'm not going to drop names, but I'm trying to pull this up, this is why I keep looking at my computer. I'm not going to drop names, but this is a multi-million-dollar company. They work with Fox, they work with, trying to remember all the names he was trying to show off to me on the call. They work with a lot of big brands, is all I'm going to say. And they specifically do white labeling and outsourcing for agencies. Now, I wanted to book a call.
This is not Dash Clicks, by the way, guys.
We're not talking shit on Dash Clicks.
Yeah, this is a separate company that we went to white label to see what everyone's doing.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. That could cost them all.
Yeah, it's like, let's make sure you guys know.
So I'm not going to drop any names, Dash Clicks.
Not Dash Clicks.
No, not Dash Clicks. I'm not going to drop their name though, but they're a multi-million-dollar company is what I'll say, is all I'm going to say. So they're huge. So why I booked a call is because they're a multi-million-dollar company, and you can't just sign up online, you have to have a strategy call. So I was like, okay.
Can you guys hear us? Drop a 1 in the comments if you can hear us. We're approaching having a dozen people on here now. I want to make sure you can hear us well. Drop a 1 in the comments if you can hear us. I just want to make sure that we can, because we don't have the speaker set up.
Sorry, shoot. So I get on a call, and they first hop me on a call with a guy that's just kind of doing the discovery phase. And I won't say much qualms about that. I could tell he didn't really have my interest at heart, and he was kind of just going through the motions. It is what it is, but there was no like real red flags. The only thing that really stood out to me at the end, and I knew it was fake because I used to do this poorly, and don't do this, but when I asked for a time to book the strategy session later, because he wanted to go more in depth and everything, when I asked him for the strategy session, he asked what time I wanted. And I told him what time. I said I want 10 a.m. CST tomorrow. And then he paused, like, let me look at my calendar. He's like, actually, that's so weird. That's the only availability we have right now. We're booked out. We just have 10 a.m. CST.
Oh my God, he did not.
He did. And it gets worse. It gets
God.
worse than that. It gets so much worse. And I instantly knew what they was doing, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, I used to do that when I was closing marketing deals for gyms way back in the day. And I cringed that I did that, and I cringed hearing him say that. But it is what it is. I was awesome, and I can't believe that. Like, what are the odds? We booked the appointment, then that's it. I then get an email follow-up to about a call today, kind of a review summary, what I can expect on the call tomorrow. The email, the way he typed it out, I'm not a grammar Nazi. There was zero capitalization, even at the beginning of the sentences. He was doing like lowercase I. It was like there was no periods, there was no commas. It was just really, really unprofessional. This is a multi-million-dollar company that's supposed to be white labeling and outsourcing for agencies. Now, when they got on, I told them that I'm trying to create an e-commerce agency. So that's what the call revolved around, right? I was telling them that I want an e-commerce agency, and I'm looking for ads to direct to e-commerce. I told them a story. I used to do real estate for agency, which is true. I was tired of waiting for real estate owners to close leads for me, and I wanted something more binary, where I just get them results and that's it. So I just want to do e-commerce only. So that was the story I told them. When I hopped on the call the next day with a new sales rep who hopped on Zoom with me, and this is where it gets really bad. I'm going to explain everything that went bad. He had no brief on me whatsoever. He didn't know anything about me. He didn't know anything about my goals. He didn't even know I was trying to do an e-commerce agency. So that entire strategy session I did the night before was pointless because none of that information got transferred over to the next sales rep. So I had to start that all over again. I'm just going to pull up the comments, make sure we're good. LOL. I can hear you. Okay, sweet. So this is where it gets bad, guys. So he had a pitch deck. Now, there is nothing wrong with pitch decks. If you've been following Rob and I for a little, you know that I use pitch decks, and Rob uses pitch decks when we are closing marketing deals. We use a process called reframing out throughout the pitch deck. Now, this is where most people get pitch decks wrong, is they throw a bunch of words on it, pretty much no visuals, and they talk and talk and talk and just read off the pitch deck, and it is the most boring fucking thing you can possibly go through.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. And this is something I see newbie marketing agencies do in particular, is they get a pitch deck, they put a bunch of words on it, they read off it, and then at the end they're like, does that make sense? Any questions? And then they just keep going. And it just turns you into a zombie, you care less. Now, I expect agency owners that are just starting out to do that. I don't expect a multi-million-dollar company to do that. But that's what he did. In fact, we hopped on the pitch deck, and he didn't ask permission of whatsoever to get started, but usually when I hop on a pitch, I'm like, are you ready to get started? Can I show you what I have? I'm going to let them feel like they have some type of control over the call. He just dives straight into it and starts reading off the pitch deck, reading off the pitch deck. He goes 15 slides without asking me a single question. 15 slides. I can never get Porter Temple Naylor pitching me.
16 slides?
I love you, Danny. He goes 16 slides without asking me, not even does this make sense, just talking and rambling. And guess what? This is where I was getting pissed off. Is the night before when I had...
Oh shit, here we go. Oh shit, this is where Temple gets pissed.
I feel like we're at a hair salon, we're like gossiping right now.
Oh shit.
This is what he did. I don't know how to tell you what
it is. Alright, tell us.
The night before, I said I wanted an e-commerce agency only, right? This whole pitch deck was set up to show me how we could white label my services for local brick and mortar businesses. Nothing to do with e-commerce whatsoever. And I interrupt him on the 16th slide. And I'm like, my man, I don't think this is what I'm looking for. There's been some miscommunication. I'm looking strictly for e-commerce only. And this sales rep had no idea about the process because he's like, oh, like Shopify and like online stores. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like that's the direction I'm trying to head. It's good enough. It's as good as I'm gonna get from this guy. And he's like, yeah, we don't do that. So I'm finding out, we're now 2 hours, like an hour and a half into it, pushing 2 hours into the sales process, obviously combined with the call from the night before, and I'm just now finding out that they can't provide what I'm asking for. And so he continues to go throughout the pitch deck, and I'm like, why are we going any further? And I'm starting to get annoyed, like, why are we going any further at all? And he's like, oh, well, we can do like online ads for like e-commerce and stuff. And I was like, you just told me you couldn't do that before with Shopify. What's the difference between Shopify and like an online swim store brand? Like, you don't know if there's Shopify or not. He's like, well, my digital marketing team can handle everything on the third call. So he has no idea about anything that my needs. He hasn't assessed me. He hasn't figured out where I'm at. All the assessment that was done the night before hasn't been applied. But this is particularly what I want to focus on because all those things were bad. But what he was really doing wrong was using the pitch deck wrong. When he was going through the motions, he was reading off it. There was words, he was just reading off the words, telling me what I can expect. He wasn't asking me questions. So, and when he did ask me questions, he'd be like, does this make sense? Does this sound good? And what are those guys? Those are external questions. So there's something we teach in the Art of Sales program on internal and external questions. Now, internal or external questions are questions you can very, very simply answer yes or no to, and you don't have to put any critical thought into it whatsoever. So like, does this make sense? Yes. Like, do you like what you see? Yes. Do you think this could help you? Yes. Those are all like external questions. And what's happening when you have a salesman going through the pitch deck in this cycle, asking external questions only, is you're making me lose interest. Because I'm not listening to a word you're saying. I know the pitch is coming up. I know you don't really care about me, and you're just going through the motions. You're asking me questions I've heard 1,000 times before. Now, he should be asking questions. Hit that snooze button. Yo, Temple, I got that pitch deck update, and I'm trying to get some performance. By the way, Christopher. Christopher is in the Art of Sales, and he's about to kill it. I'm excited for him. Needs some more internal cue in place. Exactly. So this is pretty much what he was doing wrong. And all he had to do was ask me questions that made me critically think, internal questions I couldn't easily answer no to. So he could have been like, you know, would this, do you think this would help you? He could say, what would this do for you? What would this do for you to have a streamlined, duplicatable process where we could go through and you can give me any client and we'll make sure that we take care of him and you no longer have to worry about the back end of fulfillment. You only have to focus on making money.
Did you guys know Temple Naylor is a closer?
Sometimes.
Did you guys know that?
What would this do for your agency? What would this do for your life if you just had all that time filled up without ever having to deal with clients? Like, these are questions now that are going to make me think. These are questions he should be asking on the slides. And then he should be asking permission to go on to the next slide by simply saying, you know, are you ready for the next one? Can I show you what's next? You know, like, don't get your socks knocked off, but can I show you what's next? I know you're excited for it. I know you're eagerly waiting.
Keep your clothes on. I know you want to hear what I got to say next, but let's not get naked.
Obviously, we're adding a little humor to it, but he's asking your permission. So what we do on our pitch decks is we open and close each slide. So we open them by asking those internal questions. You know, what would this do for you? Make you quickly think. Something you can't answer yes or no to. And then we'll ask that very basic external question, are you ready for the next one? At the end, and we'll close the slide. And what we're doing is making them feel like they have control over the entire process. Because I felt like I didn't have zero control on that call. I felt like I was just sitting there and I was forced to sit there and I had no other choice. And it felt horrible, and I was getting pissed off. And I had the recording from it. I'll be uploading it, and you can see me getting agitated and looking like kind of a dick. Because I'm getting pissed off, feeling like I'm just getting pitched to, and I have no control, and there's nothing I can do on this call.
And because Temple's a dick.
And because I'm kind of an asshole. But that was the process that we went through, and it was painful. It was extremely painful. And why I'm on this kind of rant, and this is just like ranting while we're having lunch, is this is a multi-million-dollar company that has sales reps doing this. This is an extremely successful company that has sales reps doing this. It is not professional at all. And I just want to show you, if a company of that size, that status, that stature is performing like this, where's the opportunity for you? If you just take even the little stuff like internal, external questions and just apply that, just a little thing like that, and apply that to your sales process. What would that do for you if you were closing 10% higher than $1 million company? That's when you think about that. There's a lot of opportunity out there. A lot of people think with sales pretty much that like it's like, I don't know if saturated is the word, but I think everyone's out there selling and everyone's heard everything. I promise you that's not the case. Most salesmen out there are using the most old school, outdated tactics and they don't know what they're doing. So if you just do even 20% better than them and apply our tactics, you'll be way ahead of your competition in the market.
People think now, guys, when Temple says outdated, people start focusing on like how to combat objection. How to start a sales call with the right pitch. Okay? What to say at the end of the call. Okay, what if we're here to tell you that you don't have to say anything at the end of the call? The customer is supposed to want to buy from you. What if we were to tell you you're not supposed to combat objections, but more so, you're supposed to listen yourself into their answer? What if we told you there wasn't a direct way to form a pitch? What if we told you you're supposed to let them tell you exactly where you want the conversation to go and let them sell themselves? Guys, this is the future of sales. This is what we teach. Okay, it goes beyond contrary belief of what is so the stigma of sales and this what's exciting and fun and rad or whatever you want to call it. The trend, there you go, trend. Guys, I'm telling you right now, we are selling more now than ever by using this new approach. Okay, and if you're closing at 70%, your prices aren't high enough. I hear some people say, "Well, I close at 50%."
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great, Mr. Customer. I mean, and make sure you ask permission because you're about to take a blow to them. Okay. Can I offer a piece of advice? All right. If you're closing at 50%, your prices aren't high enough. Okay. If you're closing at 10% and you're half of the market because you're trying to undercut them, we need to work on something internally. Would you agree? What do you believe that looks like? And now you're going to listen yourself into their answer and expand on what they believe, raise their level of thinking, and then ask them, what would you like to do from here? Holy balls.
It's a game changer.
Like, you guys guys.
It sounds simple, but
it is
simple.
It takes a lot of adjusting.
Yeah, to implement it correctly, but this will change everything.
I remember one time you saw me close a deal and you're like, you didn't even say anything.
Yes. This was like the craziest. I've seen Rob do some crazy closes. We were over. I actually just had my girl come over and we were waiting, and he had the last call of the day, so we sat and watched him. And at the end of the call, I was like, you didn't even say anything. This is like, I didn't even know you were selling him. It just felt like a normal conversation. And I knew like what was going on, and I still felt like it wasn't a sale. And there was. And the guy asked Rob how to get started. Rob didn't ask for the sale. He asked Rob for the sale.
Pay in full. $3,000 pay in full deal on a 45-minute call.
It was sexy.
Yeah, that's it. Guys, it's really that. Ask any questions below. We're here to answer them. Anything sales, business, and social media marketing. This is what we talk about, guys. You guys ask questions. We're just here eating, so we're doing this live right now. We're done eating. This is a free call, literally. I mean, this is just a free
coaching call.
Really a free coaching call. This is your chance to ask any questions that you have. Now is the time. But anyway, I was really cool that you did that secret shop because it's pretty eye-opening, guys. For companies like that, and if you guys want to know, I hear this a lot, what service do I sell? We get this question a lot. So I'm going to give you an example of what that can look like. Whenever Temple did the secret shop, and he noticed that they are a big, multi-million-dollar company, so they're pretty fair size. And when you look at that, and they're missing this many closes because their sales aren't that good, this is another room for opportunity for us to expand our service to be able to say, hey, by the way, we're also going to help you be able to close more deals without increasing your ad spend or increasing your leads. And we're going to help you increase your revenue. Have you ever done that? Have you already had the chance to do something like that? This is called a USP, a unique selling point. They're going to say, well, what do you mean? Well, I was asking if you had the chance to already do that. And they're going to be like, I guess not. Okay, tell me about that. Why haven't you taken that approach? Something that's not going to cost you more money to make you more money first before you start spending more money. Is there a reason why you haven't taken that approach yet? Oh shit. Oh shit. Right? They've never been asked questions like this. This is because you're truly trying to understand them. Okay? Hey Rob, when you pitch at $4,000 a month with $2,000 management fee, if you tell them it's a setup fee of $2,000, so I don't do setup fees. It's all just one flat rate. If I do $4,000 a month or $6,000 a month, then it's just flat $6,000, $4,000. That's what they pay. And the reason I do it that way, we used to do it the other way. There's pros and cons to both. I won't get into the pros and cons right now, but the reason why we do it this way is it lowers the friction for the buyer, because a confused buyer always says no. And if they have to think about anything, it creates a wall or starts to create more friction to the sale. So we like to eliminate as much of that as possible, so we lump it all together. When you start discussing, you're gonna pay for this, 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 and this, they're like, whoa, I need to think about it. And now you just made the job harder for yourself. This is talking yourself out of the sale. You gotta make it easy for them to buy. Good question.
Look at the way it froze.
Oh, you got a screenshot. That's a good screenshot. Yeah, guys. So look for rooms of opportunity. That's why I just gave you that example with they're not closing on, so help them close better without actually doing ads yet. And the reason why is because this is a major issue. Let me ask you this, Mr. Customer. You're doing how much in sales every month? I don't care about the rest of your revenue. Just tell me what you're doing with sales. Okay, you're bringing in $100,000 a month. Cool. Let me ask you a question. You're closing at 10% right now. Okay, which means that you're bringing in $100,000 a month on just 10% of sales. So if we were to bring in an extra $100,000 a month and show you how to do that over the next 90 days, what would that be worth to you? Realistically. Let them answer. Don't say anything. Because they're going to be like, well, if you could do that, then I would just give you all my money. I'd spend all my money with you. Cool. I really appreciate that. I'm going to hold you to it, but what would that be worth to you? You see how you have to circle back to your question? You need a direct answer to a direct question or there's no moving forward. There's no clarity, okay? And there's power in clarity, okay? There's assurance and clarity. So if you want that, you need to make sure you have a direct answer to a direct question. Do not let them take you off track just because you think that the conversation is going in the right direction. Listen and then bring it back. Let them talk and then bring it back.
It's literally as simple as acknowledging and re-asking the question.
Acknowledge and re-ask. That's it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's also funny when you just see a company that has such a proven system not know how to properly position themselves and frame it correctly. Like for example, this company, they will onboard your client. They're gonna hop on a Zoom call with your client. They're gonna set up all their ads managers, all their Google tags, all the Facebook stuff. They're gonna prep them on expectations on what to be said. They're gonna run the ads. They're gonna have weekly calls with your clients to make sure that everything's running smoothly. There's no need to be revision. You literally don't ever have to talk to your client again. They give you a dedicated account manager. Like, it's a big company. And none of those selling points were really positioned to me properly. And those are huge things that I would have made me want to buy. And I remember him going through it, and he listed them off. He's like, does that sound good? He's like, would you want that? And that was that. And it might sound like, well, how would you rephrase that, Temple? And you could literally rephrase it by getting him to admit that I wouldn't want to work with any other company that doesn't do that. So for example, he could say, can you believe that most companies, they don't set you up for success by first onboarding your client, setting proper expectations, setting all the account, the technical stuff up for your client in an easy, simple, duplicatable way, making sure that they have weekly calls with their client, so they're in the loop and that they don't feel like they're being left out, and giving you a dedicated account manager, all the while still providing results. Can you believe most companies don't set you up for success by doing that? By giving you a simple, easy, duplicatable process? Would you ever want to work with a company that doesn't do that? And then he's going to get me to admit, no, I guess I wouldn't. Now I'm thinking all the other companies, all the other competition, I don't want to work with them now because they're not setting up for me success. They're not my enemy. And obviously that might not be the case, but that's the way he's positioning it now. And then I'm going to say no, and then he's going to agree with me like it's my own thought. Exactly, I agree. I wouldn't want to work with any other company that wouldn't want to do that for you either. And then boom, now he's the authority. But he didn't do any of that. What he did instead was list them all out. This will do for you. Would that help you?
You gotta defuse the bomb before it blows up, guys. If you know what's coming, take care of it now. If you know it's raining outside, bring an umbrella, okay? Because if that objection comes up and you think it's what killed the sale, but you knew it was gonna come up, okay? You can't be pissed at the customer. Even if they're wrong for not buying, Because that's like you getting pissed off that you walked out in the rain without an umbrella and got wet. This is nobody's fault but your own. I'm not usually a finger pointer, but at the end of the day, ownership is leadership. Take ownership of the fact that the sale didn't close. Okay, that's not the customer's fault. It's not the customer's job to give you all the answers necessary to close the deal, because you're having to go in and reframe their beliefs. They don't know what they should know. It's your job to go in and add clarity. That clarity is going to get them to buy from you. That clarity is going to lower any doubt they have. That clarity is going to eliminate, okay, their fear of doing business with somebody because they've been burned at the sale. Confidence closes, okay? Coffee isn't for closers. Coffee gives you the shits. Confidence closes. All right? Like, I'm just feeling really bad today. So that's what made me think about that. But yeah, guys, people used to say coffee closes. Well, if you want a real line that doesn't just sound good, confidence closes, okay? Why shouldn't you believe in me if I believe in me? Okay? So you have to be able to leverage that. Ask any questions you guys have, guys. We're covering a lot of stuff right now that's super relevant. It's super high level. A lot of people don't talk about it. Because to be honest, we give you guys everything we do. Like the script that I just did on Monday. People are like, dude, why are you giving it away? I have people saying all the time, dude, you should be charging for this stuff. And what I say is, it's okay. Only 1% of the people are going to use it. The other 99% will buy it. That's the truth. Okay? I am okay with giving this stuff away. What you're going to notice when you deal with the professional guys, I don't know if you're in other Facebook groups, and I'm in some other Facebook groups that are just, they're ballers. So if you guys are like Andrew Cruzy, Jeff Miller, there's a lot of people out there that are just have baller Facebook groups. But what you're going to notice if you're in a Facebook group is that they're going to give you a shit ton of stuff for free and a ton of information that's valuable and actionable now. And the reason they do that is because they're a wealth of knowledge, because they are a legitimate expert in their space. And they can give this stuff away for free because they have so much more in their paid programs than what they give away for free. What they can give away for free is constant, it's high level, it's high value, it's actionable, it's now results driven. So that's why they can do that.
Yeah, I think it was Danny, if you're still on this call, he made a post, he was like, you could easily make $3,000 a month with just all the, and I think he was like completely undercutting, you can make a lot more with just all the free information that everyone's giving out.
Yeah.
In these groups.
I think that's an undercut too.
Yeah.
Well, we saw a Facebook post in this group once where somebody said they landed their like first or second client with just the free information.
Yeah, it was like a $4,000 client.
Yeah, it's a super good client. I mean,
when you pitch the price, do you propose an entire monthly price, ad spend plus retainer, or break each down? I include the ad spend. There's a lot of forums about this, and I know some other big influencers have highly disagreed with me on this and called me out on this, and I think that's fine because for the reasons they listed, I have not had those issues. But I like adding the ad spend and the retainer in one set price just to make it easy for them understandable. Because there's a saying, Bob always like to say it, a confused buyer doesn't like to buy it. And I hate being like, okay, this is the monthly retainer price. Also, this is going to be ad spend on top of it. We're also going to do this one-time setup fee, and it's going to be on a 4-month contract. It's too much going on at once. So I'd rather just say it's $4,000 for 3 months.
Make it easy to buy.
That's simple.
Make it easy to buy. Like, make that shit easy to buy. There's some times I'll go in to buy an electronic. To give you guys an example outside of marketing, and you guys could probably agree, I went in to buy an electronic, and because I couldn't pick it up and hold it, because I used to work in the B2C industry where you want to put something in somebody's hands to create ownership and possession so they don't want it taken away from them. And whenever you pick something up off a shelf, it becomes yours before you buy it, psychologically. So when I can't pick something up from the electronics section because it's inside of a case and the employees have to come over to unhook it because it's a quote unquote valuable, then I just don't want to go ask for it. I just don't want to go ask an employee to get it for me. I'm just like, I'll just wait, I'll get it next time, it's not that important or whatever. I have the money to buy it, but I just don't want to take the time to go find somebody.
Story selling you right now. Bob is story selling you right now.
And it's the truth. It's the freaking truth, guys. And it's like you could probably relate to this, right? You've probably been here before where you want to get something, you can afford it, but you just don't want to take the time to ask the questions, to go find somebody to help you, to go do this and that, because either A, you're embarrassed about your question, because what if it's a really personal thing, right? Like, what if it's a really personal thing you're gonna go buy and you don't want somebody to help you? You're not gonna ask. You're just gonna go buy it on the internet or something. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind. Make it easy to buy.
Can you imagine ever working for a company that didn't make it easy to buy?
Would you ever want to do business with them?
One more question. Dude, you can ask as many questions as you want. That's why we're on this call. Are 3-month or more contracts the way to go, or go offering monthly contracts is okay? So I would definitely offer not just monthly. I don't do that. So I read a question box. I was going to say something else when I rephrased everything I was about to say like 2 seconds. That's why you saw me pause. But anyways, I don't do monthly because it's not sustainable. What's the point of doing monthly? If you're going to do monthly, you might as well just be a sales rep and just a sales rep only. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that. But because there's no MRR in it. So you're pretty much just doing one-off deals. And you're stressing yourself out too, because on top of that, you're doing fulfillment too. So you might as well just close for an agency if you're just going to do it monthly. However, if you're going to run an agency, obviously you want MRR. That's the whole point of having an agency. So what you want to do is offer 3 months minimum. You always want to offer 3 months minimum. And I call that, I position that as the trial period for all the clients I'm doing. But I do 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. And then I ask which one they want to move forward with, and I assume the sale, and I give them options. Because what we're doing is asking yes, yes, or yes. Because when you offer just one option, like monthly, you're asking, okay, it's $4,000 month to month. Do you want to move forward with this, yes or no? But I'm saying, okay, we have, I don't even know what the exact. If I'm offering like, I was gonna pull up the exact metric I was using, but if I offer 12 month at $3,000 a month, and then 6 months at $4,000 a month, and 3 months at $5,000 a month, that's averagely what we do. Depending on the niche, obviously, you want to go over to a high ticket. I offer those 3, and I say, which one do you want to move forward with? Yes, yes, yes. Not one option, yes or no.
Boom.
That was a really long-winded answer. I'm sorry, because I was going to say something else, but I had to revamp everything in my head.
So by the way, Yash, congratulations. Yash closed his 15th client using that script I presented on Monday.
Oh my God.
There you go.
There you go. That's the exact example.
That's it. Yash, you need to be in our Art of Sales program, our coaching program. Temple, do you want to reach out to Yash? And Temple's going to reach out to you and book a call with you to talk about it. Chris, yeah, it's going to take 2 to 4 weeks or 2 weeks for the initial setup. So what you're going to want to do is just let them know that. Here's the thing, guys. Whenever you're selling something, people only get pissed after the close if something additional ends up blocking the progression of that deal moving forward, right, and transpiring into results. So if you want to make sure that doesn't happen, be upfront. Hey guys, month 1, it's going to be $4,000. The first 2 weeks is going to be us getting your campaign up, which means you're not going to have ads running for 2 weeks, but it's okay because we're not going to charge you a setup fee. So just to let you know, that's what month 1 looks like. Month 2, and see, boom, just goes right into it. It's a non-issue. I say that to people all the time. I love that line. I don't know why it works. We use it a lot on this real estate client, and I kept saying it's a non-issue.
Rob literally said it like 12 times.
Yeah, I was like, it's a non-issue.
Every objection that you brought up, that's a non-issue.
Yeah, it's like if I'm tired of haggling or negotiating, I'm just like, look, at the end of the day, it's a non-issue. Can we agree? Like at the end of the day, we both understand this is a complete non-issue. This has nothing to do with you moving forward. Because realistically, people just need that. And so they're going to be like, well, we're not going to have ads running for 2 weeks. Yeah, we got to put it together for you.
And you got to hold your ground. That's the thing. Like confidence, everything Rob was saying, you just got to hold your ground, know that's what it is, and that's what's right. Like just having confidence is so key. I hopped on a call one time. This was like a couple weeks ago, and we get towards the end, and it's real estate. So with real estate, they're in sales too, and they're usually in that sales world. So they kind of like play the game too. And we get to the end, and he's like, all right, this is where I'm gonna test your objection handling. And then I literally looked him dead in the eye. I stayed silent for about 2 seconds. And I said, I'm not doing that today. And I just stayed silent. I didn't say anything else.
That was hilarious.
And then
that was hilarious.
3 seconds later, he's like, all right, here's my car. And that's what we did. And it's because I held my ground. I'm just confident. Just like it's a non-issue. It's just a non-issue. That's all it is. It's nothing more. Don't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah, if you guys want to sound different, be direct.
Yeah.
Oh my God, will this get you guys so many sales at a higher dollar amount? If they try to challenge you, because like Temple said, you're going to get people that are in sales that you're going to try to sell, and they're going to say some stupid shit like that, like, oh, I can tell that you, that was a good line. That's a good line you use there. Here's how you respond to that. We should actually write this down. Can we write this down, like how to deal with people that think they're the ultimate salesperson and calling you out on the sale? And what you want to say to them is this: man, you're really good at sales, huh? They're gonna be like, well, yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Awesome. So would you say that you're above average? They're gonna be like, I guess. Okay, cool. Would you agree then, one sales professional to another, that a deal is not a deal unless it's a deal for both people, for you and for me? If it's not a good deal for you, it's not a good deal for me, would you agree it's not a deal? They're gonna say, well, yeah, okay. Well, as an above average sales professional, how would you suggest that we make that happen today so we can both walk away from this with a change of momentum? Because now you put the ball in their court to tell you exactly what they want, and it opens up the room for negotiation for you to at least move in a new direction, and you've broken that pattern that they're on. And this is a disruptive statement.
It made me feel like they have control. You're a psychologist?
Yeah, dude, I study a lot about neuroscience, psychology, neurobiology, anything that can help me understand how to be able to further persuade a situation to a mutually beneficial outcome. I learn that every day.
And I appreciate that, Josh, on the 12K close. I'm going to be uploading a lot more closes for free this month too, so look out for that. No, we're not having bananas. I had sushi.
Oh, it's because I put a banana under under the post of lunch to learn. I just put a banana. Yo, Louis, you're hilarious, bro. What are the questions we have here, guys? This slide got really intense. There's a lot of good info in here. Got into a lot of stuff. Cool. Well, guys, if we don't have any more questions, we're going to jump off. It's been an hour. If you have any last questions, what's up, Steven?
Do you go in for the close and discovery meeting? No. Well, okay. So there's different. This is where it is. There's not one answer for everything because there's a million different sales cycles on how leads are presented to you. For example, if I'm cold calling, I'm gonna do a mini discovery session on that cold call possible, and I'm not gonna close on the cold call. If it's off LinkedIn, I'm gonna have a discovery call first before I have the strategy call. And you should never, I call strategy call because that's what you guys know it for, but you should never call something a strategy call to your clients, just FYI. Call something like rocket launch call, velocity call, give it some crazy name. But don't ever say that. I just say that because that's what your guys' native language is. From there, so yeah, then I'll have the strategy call, quote unquote, and close it. If they're coming in from an ad, I'll do a one call close because they've been pre-qualified already. So there's not one answer to that. It depends on your sales cycle or sales process, excuse me.
Yeah, and even if you are cold calling guys, you should be sending them a video sales letter or quote unquote like a mini webinar that breaks down everything you do. So this way when they hop on the call, this is also how we're able to adjust our selling process, is because if they've already watched that video and you've done a pre-qualifying call on that cold call, mini discovery call, then when they hop on the call, it's really up to you to say the wrong thing because they already know what you're gonna do to help them. So they're basically hopping on the call to see if you say something they don't like. This is how you can talk yourself out of the sale. So would you just qualify them in the discovery call? Yeah, and make sure you have all the decision makers on to the main call.
Yeah, and what I do on the discovery call, because I don't want to like be like, okay, real quick, I'm gonna ask you some questions, because I always say something about
don't ever, please don't ever say that.
You can do that from a LinkedIn call, but don't do that on a discovery call. So what I'll do is I'll book the appointment. Like, awesome, got you locked in real quick. How are you getting the leads right now? And then I'll just dive into that. I just say real quick, ask the question, and then you want to tolerate it. So most people, some people, you might have caught them at a really bad time. They don't have the time. Don't keep pushing it. Some people, they're going to respond really well and answer questions. So keep asking questions and keep building that rapport. But you should be able to tell that from whatever prospect you have on the call. Do you guys still run your marketing agency or just focus on coaching? So you're probably about to get two different answers. I'm actually most likely going to build up an agency from scratch again in a completely different niche I've never touched before, besides closing one or two calls for a different agency. But that's my plan moving forward. It's not solidified yet, so don't hold me on to that, but that's what I plan to move forward with.
I am not. I do not run an agency anymore. I've actually about to make a post about this today. I tapered all my clients off by February of this year. And the reason why is because I launched this coaching business back in June. I fully launched it in June of last year. So we're literally coming towards the end of my first fiscal year. And in order for me to focus on students in the program and to grow, you can't do both. You can't do both. I'm gonna say again, you can't do both effectively, okay? Or you're taking away from your students, or you're taking away from your, I don't like to say students or clients, because people spend a lot of money with us. So they're clients. So yeah, I only do coaching at this point. I've already built an agency up 3 different times from scratch to 5 figures a month. The first time in 90 days, the second time in 60 days, the third time in 30 days, which I actually did with Temple that third time. So, which is the process that we give everybody. We scale it to 13,500 a month in 30 days in recurring revenue, and that's the process we teach. So yeah, I only work with coaching clients.
Yeah, and I have more free time now because right now I'm coaching on a specific subject in the art of sales, and I'm obviously focusing on sales for you guys.
Which we'll have a link above, guys, when this video is over. If you want to book a call onto the art of sales with Temple, then you'll have that link on there.
100%. Magnus, how do you qualify them financially? Great question. If it's e-commerce, I just straight up ask them how much sales they're making because they're just used to numbers and like talking numbers. Rob might have a different opinion on that, but that's what I like to do. If it's any other niche besides e-com, all I do pretty much is I say, what have you seen your average transaction rate consistently? And then I'll ask them a question like, are you looking to grow that? Are you looking to keep that the same, whatever? And then my next question I'll ask is how many of those you're getting a month? And then I can say, you're looking to grow that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But what I can do is obviously add the average transaction rate and multiply that by how many they're having per month, and now I know how much they're making per month averagely, so now I can qualify them financially.
For me personally, I don't care how much they make. If they're on a call with me, and I've come to learn this with coaching, is that what they make doesn't matter, it's how bad they want that destination. Okay? I work with a lot of students now that they might not have any money in their bank account, which is fine because I believe in them. If they believe in them, and based on the diagnosis, they have the tools and mindset necessary to be able to move forward and change their life, I will sell this to you. Okay? You need to find the money. All right? I do the same thing. I did the same thing with agency clients. Okay? When I would sell agency clients. And one of my favorite lines towards the end is, I'm going to challenge you to do this. I understand that this is more than you ever spent before. Well, I'm used to hearing that, but I'm going to challenge you to do this. And I'm going to do that because it's the right thing to do. And we both know that. So I'm going to challenge you to get started today. I'm
going to argue with you again and combat that.
Yeah.
I think that's great for coaching. I think you should never apply that to marketing because I put companies and business owners in tight positions where they just can't afford that and the margins just are not right, and I put them in really bad positions, and I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, we did do that. We did sell a lot of companies, and I will say that did go south pretty quick because we were able to sell any company using this style of selling.
Yeah.
Which, there were some scenarios that weren't good for them, but at the end of the day, it helped us realize it's because we can fix internal systems. So this way they don't run into that issue. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't our lead, it wasn't the leads. We were crushing on the leads. It was, can they close the deals? That's all it came down to. So now, as long as you can provide an internal system, then you won't have that problem. Yeah, that's why it's important to have ethics when you do this, guys. Because when you learn how to sell in the way we're selling, you can sell anything. When you learn how to listen to the extent we listen, people are gonna want to buy from you. Okay? And it's a really hard world to live in because you're never having to really ask for the close or to push hard because people just want to give you their money. So you have to make sure that your ethics are in the right place and you're not selling to people when it's not ready or when it's not for them, because those are both two different things. Either it's not meant for them or it is meant for them, but it's not the right time. And then you have the group of people that are ready.
Yeah. Great way. Best way to introduce yourself for a discovery call that your cold caller has secured a warm lead. I stick to head of fulfillment. it seems to work for me.
Yeah, I've always done ad fulfillment. Yeah.
And I got that from Rob actually, now that I think about it.
I think that's it. I think we're gonna jump off. It's already 1 o'clock. So appreciate you guys hopping on.
Dang, an hour went by fast.
I know that we talked about a lot of stuff. If you guys want to watch a replay of this, it's in the Facebook group or it'll be on my YouTube. We'll put a link in the description that you guys can go. Oh, Rosalind, you just joined? Nice, you missed everything. But it's okay. Well, this will be uploaded later. If you want to book a call at Temple to figure out, and we'll answer Leighton, we'll answer your question. If you want to book a call at Temple to be able to figure out how we can help you generate more revenue in your agency without increasing ad spend or even spending money on ads and without generating more leads, hit them up. Leighton, your question, the link will be in the description at the end of the call. Question to Rob, if you really have no desire to rescale my agency and I just want to coach not only students but also realtors, so coaching without doing it for them, what do you think about that? So my opinion is that I am not coaching on anything I haven't done. And you'll notice this, I jumped on a podcast with Dan Henry like middle of last year and we talked about this. So he explained it in a way that allowed me to contextualize it better. And I'm gonna tell you guys what he told me. If you guys don't know Dan Henry, he sells a course on Facebook ads. He's a big course creator, used to own an agency. And his big thing is how to get to $10,000 in 30 days, a 30-day launch. If I remember correctly, that's what. Yeah, so he does not teach you how to become a deca-millionaire like he is now. He teaches you how to generate $10,000 in recurring revenue per month. So I teach what helped me scale my agency to 5 figures in 30 days, and what has helped me generate over $1 million in sales for agency owners, and what has allowed me to achieve 6 President's Clubs when I worked for corporate companies over the last 8 years, okay? By the age of 26 years old. Technically 25 because I started my company at 25. So I teach people how to become great at that. Nothing more, nothing less. And I am more than confident in teaching it because I've already done it and I'm repeating it over and over again. So that's why I would say that it's not important to continue doing what you used to do, but to continue to evolve and to be able to do what you already know is great and duplicate it. Because that's how you can help the world in masses. Anybody in the world can help 10 people at a time or 1 person at a time. How many people can help thousands and hundreds of thousands at a time? That's how you create impact. That's how you leave your footprint on the world. That's my response.
I love that.
That's all I got for you, bro. Amore, what's up, man? All right, guys, so if you want to catch the replay, you can watch this here in the Facebook group or go to my YouTube.
Boom. And
there'll be a link in the description to be able to talk to Temple if you want to figure out how to increase your revenue without adding more leads or spending more on ads.
We'll have a sexy conversation. Talk soon.